The Kirk Cousins situation is just so frustrating, man, because we put ourselves in this position. We paid a guy that was just coming off Achilles injury, and guaranteed him I forgot how much money he got guaranteed. I know it was over $100 million, and his agent is one of the best agents. He's gotten over $300 million probably in his whole NFL career, like as an agent most likely. But it's just like, we had the money there, and we paid a guy that's coming off Achilles surgery. Not even the Pittsburgh Steelers were willing to give Aaron Rodgers that much of a chance. Not even the Jets were willing to give that much of a chance when Aaron Rodgers was coming back. Keep in mind, he did tear his Achilles in his first year with the Jets, but the second year he wasn't that good, and he ended up cutting ties with them. So now, when we take a look at the Kirk Cousins situation, well, the Falcons are basically in a situation now where Kirk Cousins either has to get traded, cut, or he's going to be sitting down as a backup. And I swear to you, if Kirk Cousins is sitting down as the backup, getting paid that much money, I would rather he get cut and we be in dead cap. Because this is not the first time the Falcons have put themselves in a situation. Keep in mind, I'm a Matty Ice guy. I love Matt Ryan. But we put ourselves in that situation. We paid Matt Ryan, and then we ended up cutting Matt Ryan, which ended up putting us in dead cap. This is not as worse as the Matt Ryan situation goes on, but it's still pretty bad. And it all could have been avoided. Why did we pay Kirk Cousins this money? Everybody, as a Falcons hindsight, was like, all right, Kirk Cousins is going to take us to the playoffs. Kirk Cousins, we're going to win the NFC South. Keep in mind, I predicted us to go, 11-5, 10-5, and people were really in the comments like, David, you're not a Falcons fan. We're going to win this. It's going to be easy. And look what happened. We lost it. We finished second in the division, and we didn't make the playoffs. And Kirk Cousins regressed terribly throughout the season. He was hot to start the season. He was performing very, very well. But as the season goes, it just started going down and down and down. And now it's come to a point where Kirk Cousins is going to be either getting paid to be the backup or he's going to be on a new team. And keep in mind, Kirk Cousins could start on a decent amount of these teams. There's some quarterback situations where I could see Kirk Cousins starting. Specifically, Cleveland. Even though Cleveland's got so many quarterbacks, I could see Kirk Cousins going there. But with the whole Deshaun Watson contract going on with them, they're not going to be in the market. But still, I just really hate this, to be honest. And I will continue going back. I will beat this like a dead horse. We paid Kirk Cousins, even though Justin Fields was right there. He's from Georgia. He was on a cheaper contract, and he's younger. And then Kirk Cousins, and then we paid Kirk Cousins, and then we ended up drafting a quarterback. So not only did we pay Kirk Cousins, we technically backstabbed Kirk Cousins, because from what I've heard, Kirk Cousins did not know the Falcons were going to take a quarterback after paying Kirk Cousins. And then 3, he ended up getting replaced by the guy we drafted in Michael Penix Jr. And there's a possibility that Kirk Cousins, if he stays on the Falcons this year, he could replace Michael Penix Jr. if Michael Penix Jr. is not performing very, very well. So it's kind of a wish-washy type of situation. And you know who put themselves in that situation? The Falcons. There's no one else to blame but Terry Fontenot and Raheem Morris. They put themselves in the situation. They were the ones that chose to give Kirk Cousins that fat contract coming off Achilles surgery. And they are the reason why this team has not been able to build around. Keep in mind, imagine if we did not pay Kirk Cousins that type of money. Do you know how much money we would have to build around this team? Justin Simmons, a safety that we had last year, we would have been able to pay. Grady Jarrett, a defensive tackle, he wasn't performing all that well, but still, we would have been able to kept him. There's so much players that we could have in free agency if we had the money. And keep in mind, I saw the salary cap that we're supposed to have next year. We're supposed to have $900,000. $900,000 in cap space. Where's most of that money going to? Kirk Cousins. That's where it's going to. So I just really just don't understand why the Falcons put themselves in this situation. Like, it's just a stupid situation that they put themselves in. Why not get rid of Kirk Cousins as soon as you possibly can, save that money, and if Michael Penix Jr. has an okay, first season as a starting quarterback, build around him. Save the money and build around him. We could have had a well-built team, put around. And keep in mind, that Kirk Cousins money could have gone to the guys that we're going to have to pay. We're going to have to pay Bijan. We're going to have to pay Drake London. We've already paid AJ Terrell. There's going to be a lot more guys that we're going to have to pay. And right now, we don't have the money for it. Where did most of that money go to? Oh, I know. The current backup for the Atlanta Falcons. So in all, the Falcons, I will say this right now, even though many are predicting Falcons to win this division, I don't think the Falcons are going to win this division. I'll be honest, and I'm a legit Falcons fan. I think the Bucs are going to win it because the Bucs just keep getting better, and now they added another weapon with Mike Evans, with Chris Godwin. Come on. The Buccaneers are just even though they lost their offensive coordinator, I still think that Baker Mayfield is going to perform very well. It's going to be a close one between the Falcons and the Buccaneers, but ultimately I think the Buccaneers are going to get it in the end, and if the Buccaneers get the spot and get into the playoffs, and there's no two teams from the NFC South, who's else to blame but the Falcons and Terry Fernand and Raheem Morris? There's legit no person other to blame that put the Falcons in this situation where we haven't been able to build around this roster well enough, because they decided to give Kirk Cousins basically $180 million guaranteed.